The year was 1184 BCE. The city of Troy lay shrouded in an eerie calm as the first light of dawn began to creep over the horizon. For 10 long years, the Trojans had withstood the relentless siege of the Greek forces. But this morning, something was different. The Greek camp on the shores of the Troad was deserted. The only evidence of their presence, a colossal wooden horse standing solemnly by the water's edge. Throughout the city, the news spread like wildfire. The Greeks had seemingly retreated. The war, it appeared, was finally over. Cheers erupted, and the air was filled with a sense of jubilation mixed with disbelief. Could it be true? Had they finally won? As the Trojans surveyed the beach, their eyes were drawn to the wooden horse. It was an impressive sight, standing tall and imposing, a testament to Greek craftsmanship. But why had it been left behind? Debate raged among the people. Some saw it as a divine offering, a gift to the gods for a safe journey home. Others were more skeptical, questioning the Greeks' true intentions. Despite the warnings, the prevailing feeling was one of triumph. And so, amidst celebrations and singing, the Trojans made the decision that would seal their fate. They opened the city gates and, with great effort, began to pull the wooden horse into Troy as a symbol of their hard-earned victory. The massive structure creaked and groaned as it passed through the gates, a harbinger of the chaos that was yet to come. Unbeknownst to the celebrating Trojans, the true nature of this wooden marvel lay concealed within its hollow belly. Thus, the stage was set for one of history's most legendary tales of cunning and deceit. As the Trojans reveled in their perceived victory, far from their jubilant ears, another scene unfolded. On the nearby island of Tenedos, hidden away from prying Trojan eyes, lay the Greek fleet. The decision to retreat from the Trojan shores was no surrender. It was a stratagem born from the mind of a cunning tactician, Odysseus. Known for his guile, Odysseus had orchestrated a plan, one that promised to end the decade-long siege and bring the Greeks home triumphant. The wooden horse, now nestled within the walls of Troy, was more than a mere monument. Inside its hollow wooden frame, a select group of Greek warriors lay in wait. Handpicked and led by men of exceptional bravery, these soldiers were the linchpin of Odysseus's audacious scheme. As the Trojans celebrated, these silent warriors remained motionless, their mission as clear as the Aegean skies above. Meanwhile, on Tenedos, the Greek fleet lay in quiet anticipation. They had sailed away only to lull the Trojans into a false sense of security. Their ships bobbed gently on the waves, veiled by the island's rocky outcrops, as the warriors within the horse awaited the opportune moment to strike. The Greeks knew the patience required would test them, but the reward promised was worth the gamble. Odysseus, the mastermind, watched the horizon with ever-watchful eyes. With the city of Troy seemingly defenseless and the enemy complacent in their victory, the plan teetered on the edge of realization. However, success hinged on precise timing and the steadfast resolve of his hidden warriors. The night would come, and with it, the chance for Odysseus to turn the tide of war forever. What lay ahead was uncertain, but the die had been cast. All they could do now was wait. Inside the city walls, a sense of jubilation swept through the streets of Troy. King Priam himself led the celebrations, a beacon of hope and triumph for his people. The war, which had dragged on for a grueling decade, appeared to have finally reached its conclusion. The Trojan horse, a colossal wooden effigy, stood proudly in the city square, a symbol of their supposed victory over the Greeks. Its imposing presence was meant to honor Athena, as a thanks for her perceived protection during the siege. As the sun dipped below the horizon, the Trojans indulged in festivities that would be remembered for generations. Laughter echoed through the stone corridors, and the aroma of roasted meats filled the air. Wine flowed freely from goblets, shared among friends and allies who toasted to their endurance and valor. Music and dance wove through the night, a testament to their relief and newfound peace. Yet, amidst the revelry, a dangerous complacency took root. The Trojans, their vigilance dulled by wine and fatigue, dismissed the warnings of Cassandra, the cursed prophetess who claimed that the Greeks had not truly fled. Her cries fell on deaf ears, drowned out by the clamor of celebration. King Priam, confident in his judgment, paid little mind to her foreboding visions. It was a night to honor the gods, to rejoice in their perceived deliverance. Unbeknownst to them, hidden within the belly of the horse, Greek warriors lay silently in wait. Their breaths were shallow, their muscles tense, as the sounds of Troy's celebrations seeped through the wooden walls. This was the moment they had prepared for, the culmination of Odysseus's cunning plan. As the night deepened, the city of Troy lay blissfully unaware of the storm that was about to break upon them. The wooden horse, the harbinger of their doom, stood in the square, its secret poised to unveil itself with the coming dawn. As dawn broke over the unsuspecting city, a lone voice rose above the remnants of revelry. It was Laocoon, a respected priest of Troy, whose intuition was as sharp as any sword. His warning echoed through the quiet streets. "Beware of Greeks bearing gifts." The city paused, if only for a moment, to consider his words. Laocoon's suspicions, however, were not enough to sway the jubilant Trojans. His cautionary cry seemed to challenge the gods' favor. Fate, it seemed, had other plans. For as Laocoon stood resolute, attempting to sway his kin, an unexpected horror unfurled before their eyes. Two enormous sea serpents emerged from the depths, slithering with terrifying speed towards the shore. The city watched in horror as the serpents coiled around Laocoon and his sons, suffocating them in a deadly embrace. Their cries filled the air, mingling with the panic of the onlookers. The tragic scene was interpreted as a sign from the gods themselves, a divine endorsement of the wooden horse. The Trojans, already inclined to celebrate their supposed victory, took the dreadful event as a clear indicator. Laocoon must have angered the gods with his doubts, and so their resolve was sealed. The horse, a supposed tribute to their triumph, was welcomed with open arms into the city. Yet the very omen meant to silence dissent sealed their fate. The Trojans, blinded by their interpretation of divine will, unknowingly invited destruction into their heart. As the horse was pulled through the gates, it carried with it the doom of Troy, hidden within its hollow belly. The stage was set for the Greeks' final act of cunning, a lesson in the perils of hubris and the weight of misinterpretation. As night enveloped the ancient city of Troy, a stillness settled over the streets. The Trojans, intoxicated by victory, lay in deep slumber, oblivious to the danger lurking within their walls. Inside the wooden horse, hidden Greek warriors, led by Odysseus, held their breath, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. And then, like shadows slipping through the veil of darkness, they emerged. Silently, they crept through the sleeping city, their footsteps echoing like whispers. The warriors made their way to the gates of Troy, their hearts pounding with the anticipation of long-awaited revenge. With careful precision, they unlocked the barriers that had kept the Greek army at bay for a decade. Outside the city, Agamemnon and Menelaus waited with their troops, poised for the signal. As the gates swung open, the Greek forces poured into Troy under the cover of night. The clamor of their arrival shattered the silence, a harbinger of the chaos that was to follow. Troy awoke to the sound of battle cries and the clash of swords. Panic swept through the streets as the Greeks unleashed their fury upon the unsuspecting city. Flames began to lick the sky as the Greeks set buildings ablaze, turning the once proud city into a fiery inferno. The Trojans, caught off guard, scrambled to mount a defense, but their efforts were futile against the wrath of their invaders. Amidst the chaos, Agamemnon and Menelaus, the architects of this decade-long siege, pushed forward, driven by personal vendettas and the desire to reclaim what had been lost. The Greeks, fueled by vengeance and the promise of victory, sacked Troy with relentless ferocity. By dawn, the city lay in ruins, a smoldering testament to the Greeks' cunning and the Trojans' tragic misjudgment. The once mighty walls of Troy crumbled under the weight of hubris and divine misinterpretation, marking the end of an era and the fulfillment of a prophecy foretold in blood and flame. The Greeks had finally claimed their long-awaited victory, leaving behind the ashes of a legend. As the sun began to rise over the ruins of Troy, the Greek forces, having emerged victorious from the smoldering wreckage, swiftly seized control of the city. This victory had not come without a price. It was a conquest soaked in blood and the cries of a civilization brought to its knees. The Greeks, driven by a decade of bitterness, showed no mercy. They swept through the streets, turning the proud city into a somber monument of their triumph. King Priam, the venerable ruler whose strength and wisdom had guided Troy through the raging storm of war, met his harrowing end within his own palace walls. He fell at the hands of Neoptolemus, the son of Achilles, sealing the fate of the royal line with a violent finality that echoed through the marble halls. Priam's death was not just the end of a king, but the end of an era for Troy, a civilization that had once stood as a beacon of might and splendor in the ancient world. The aftermath of Troy's fall was a grim scene. The surviving Trojans, stripped of their dignity and freedom, faced enslavement at the hands of their conquerors. Women and children, the last vestiges of a proud people, were led away in chains. Their future uncertain, their homes lost, and their lives forever altered by the whims of fate and the iron will of their adversaries. Thus, the legendary city of Troy, immortalized in the epic verses of Homer, was reduced to a cautionary tale of hubris and divine retribution. The conflict, which had raged for 10 long years, finally came to its tragic conclusion. The once great city, now a mere shadow of its former glory, served as a timeless reminder of the perils of pride and the devastating consequences of war. But as the smoke of Troy's destruction cleared, the story of the Trojan Horse took on a life of its own. It was more than just a wooden decoy. It became a metaphor that resonated through the ages, symbolizing the art of cunning strategy and the dangers of deceit. This tale of trickery and triumph was immortalized in the verses of Homer, who captured the imagination of generations with his epic recounting of the Trojan War. Yet the influence of the Trojan horse extended far beyond the pages of literature. It seeped into the very fabric of history, shaping military doctrines and inspiring leaders to wield deception as a weapon in warfare. The Romans, keen students of Greek mythology, adopted the tale, using it to teach military strategy. It became a timeless lesson. The greatest threats often come from within. In art, the image of the colossal horse loomed large, from ancient pottery to Renaissance canvases, each artist capturing the drama and suspense of that fateful night in Troy. The horse, silent and ominous, standing at the gates of a city unaware of its impending doom, was a powerful symbol that artists returned to time and again. Even in the modern world, the phrase Trojan horse continues to warn against hidden threats. Software developers, wary of digital sabotage, borrowed the term to describe malicious programs disguised as benign. In politics, it serves as a caution against seemingly friendly initiatives hiding ulterior motives. The legacy of the Trojan horse is not just a story of ancient conflict. It is a reminder of the enduring power of human ingenuity and the perils of overconfidence. It underscores a universal truth that transcends time. Sometimes the most formidable adversaries are those we willingly welcome within our gates.